Welcome to Behind the Badge with your hosts,
Lieutenant Ryan Williams,
and Officer Cammie Vandermolen.
your source for all things Spondy Police.
Friday, that means Behind the Badge, our weekly visit with the Fond du Lac Police Department. Lieutenant Ryan Williams in studio, and we've got another newbie with us.
Yes, I like to have new people come in, and this one was actually recruited by one of our just former newbies. So we have newbies recruiting newbies.
That's great.
Which is amazing, but also a testament that we're doing something. We've talked about it a lot on here, but kind of backs it up when actually like our employees are probably going to be our best recruiters. But without further ado, we have Jacob Roy here, who's a lateral transfer. And Jacob, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Sure. I have about 3 years of experience in law enforcement, all in Waukesha County. This is my first time up here in Fond du Lac. Moved up with some family up in the Marcus Hand area. So the other two agencies I came from were good agencies, but everything I heard about Fond du Lac was kind of what I was looking for, and so I was really excited to get up here. And when I got the call that I made the cut, I was very happy.
So one thing that it's like a shock for people like from other agencies, like we talk about it all the time, like the culture, stuff like that. I don't want to say that we're a little more loosey-goosey, but there is. Law enforcement is a paramilitary organization, and there does need to be that structure to it, and we still have that structure. I don't want to say that we neglect that. But what we've been doing lately, as far as investing into our employees, I think is something relatively new in law enforcement to the extent. Like, we kind of take our heat from like private organizations and stuff like that. Like you go to like, Excel Engineering in town here or whatever, and you see like they got like basketball courts and stuff like that, and stuff like going to work doesn't have to be a miserable experience, and law enforcement shouldn't have to be any different. Have you seen any of that so far? Or?
It's definitely a way different feel than any of the departments I've been at. I don't really know how to describe it yet, but I know that I was excited to come to work today, and it's second day, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it is the rest of the time I'm here.
So for a new hire, it's kind of like probably like your wedding day. Like there's so much stuff that it's just a bunch of flashes by the end of it. I wonder how much they actually remember. But I try to break it up. We'll be doing a little orientation as we drive around the city. I always try to work that in. Try to get to know the city. I know a lot of obscure facts. And then we talked about that on that show, on the show here before. But just try to get them acclimated. We shot, we do the Cookies with Rookies we've talked about, where I just kind of interview them, but that's like in-house so that our other officers get to know them. But this time, Cammie made flan.
Flan, yep.
Oh, absolutely. I've had that.
You've had flan?
I have. Yeah, down in Florida.
Cammie makes a good flan.
Okay.
Flan. Is it an N or an M?
It's an N.
N. F-L-A-N.
Flan. But Cammie makes a very good flan, so people have to have her bring it in next time.
Absolutely.
So we had flan, and he kind of just talks about himself, and that's basically to break down those barriers of new guy. Nobody knows anything. Like now they know a little bit, and he fooled me on 2 truths and a lie. So
He did. So what was that?
oh, let's see if you can get it.
Okay, you're gonna test me. Yeah. All right. So 2 truths and a lie. Go ahead.
So I made it a little hard. I graduated college in 4 years. I have 2 dogs, and then I'm a great fisherman.
I'm gonna say you don't have 2 dogs.
No, I suck at fishing.
I was gonna go with that.
Yeah, and that was a tough one for me. I went with the 4-year college. I'm like, well, that's normal. So that seems almost too obvious that there would be something to it. And his new house, he's like basically on a lake, I think, right? Or
Yeah, I mean, I love outdoor stuff. I love to hunt. Duck hunting's my favorite. I love to fish. Not very good at it, so
Well, that's all right.
is what it is.
Just gotta keep practicing, right?
Yep.
Then you're gonna have a lot of time living on the water.
Hopefully, I mean, where I came from, the normal schedule was a 5 on. You work 5 days, off 2 days. Work 4 days, off 2 days. So now we're at a 5-3 here.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that extra day, and we'll definitely use it outdoors. So.
Yeah, so when I started, we worked a 5-3, 5-2, and I was on night shift, and those 2 days were not great because on night shift you can't even adjust your sleep back in those 2 days.
Right.
So you're seeing a lot in law enforcement, people changing schedules, and we're even maybe open and possibly looking at different schedules in the future. What we have right now, I like it, but we're kind of getting used to it because we have the current schedule. We have choice because we have 5 different shifts to choose from. So pretty much anything else you go to, like a lot of people are going to 12-hour shifts. And if you can imagine getting held over from a 12-hour shift, now you're a 16-hour shift, and now you talk about officers having to make a use of force decision on being up for 16 hours, you know, and of course that's when it's going to happen, right?
Right.
Like as you're at your tiredest and you have to clearly make a decision on what could be like taking someone's life or not, you know. We want to try to avoid that at all costs. So there's got to be some sort of happy medium, but the appeal right now is days off for the younger generation.
Oh yeah.
I just had this conversation with you yesterday, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I don't know what people do. Like, I must have just no life. Because, like, I get antsy. Like, if I had, let's say I worked 6 days on, 6 days off, that would be a problem with me. Like,
That's a lot of days off.
my wife would kick me out of the house or something. Or I'd probably have to do another job or something because I just get antsy. I always have to be doing something. So, I don't know. But that's me. Everybody's like me. Maybe I just adjust. Maybe I could relax.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's nice to have the extra day just to decompress and come back to work, and you're actually excited to work and more proactive and actually want to do things.
So we know that you were working in the Waukesha area before that. I always like to, where did you grow up, and at what point in life did you decide you wanted to go into law enforcement?
Sure. I grew up in Waukesha, so Menominee Falls, Brookfield area. Went to Brookfield East, played football there for 4 years. I kind of knew I wanted to be a cop or a firefighter. It was one or the other. And I had a lot of good experiences with the Menominee Falls, the fire department and police department get together. They do a big community thing. It's kind of like Dozer days back in the days. They put the ladder truck up, bring the SWAT Bearcat out. They bring all their different equipment, and you come as a little kid and play, and they put the vest on you and give you little badges, or I think they hand out like Dairy Queen free ice cream coupons.
Who doesn't like that?
Yeah, that wins over everybody.
Yeah, so, I mean, so that kind of started my, I would say, interest in it. And I had good experiences. I always wanted to further those experiences and pass them along as well. So I like doing community stuff. It's fun. Parades, outreach stuff is always nice, especially engaging with kids and seeing them smile and have fun, and parents love it too. But I think that's kind of what drove my decision to either police or fire. And when I was in college at Marquette, they had a criminology program.
That's definitely.
Yeah.
All right, wow.
That Marquette, yeah.
Jeez.
I got some scholarships. It was nice. But yeah, I took a criminology program, was really interested in like criminal law and stuff like that, so ran with it, and here I am.
Well, you know, Lieutenant went to Harvard.
Yeah, I believe it.
Harvard on the Fox.
Yeah.
UWO.
Yeah, yes. UW0 is it
Yeah.
affectionately called.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think you're probably the most prestigious university of any of our law
I
enforcement
was just gonna
officers.
say, yeah, Marquette.
Nah.
We have it. Some people do the command colleges, which is like Northwestern or something like that. So there's
Sure.
some other ones out there, but yeah, kind of a big deal.
Definitely is, and there's plenty of community things to do here in Fond du Lac. So
Speaking of that,
that was kind of my segment.
nice. God, you're good.
I've done this a few times.
We have the fireworks coming up.
We do, yeah. We're not going to have a show next week Friday due to the extended holiday, so we got to cover that here today. And of course, yes, we've got not only fireworks that people are lighting off at home, but then of course the fireworks here in the city.
Yeah. So we'll review the ordinances on that. The easy way to remember it is anything that's fun is illegal.
Pretty much, right?
Basically, the legal fireworks are like snakes and more snakes. Like some of your fountains would be legal. Technically, if they made loud enough noise, they would be illegal. Any projectiles going in the air are illegal. We do realize that there are a lot of illegal fireworks going on, but that is the city ordinance. If you become a problem, you could be cited for lighting off those types of fireworks. So be knowledgeable about that. I used to love July 4th. I have fond memories when I was a kid of us all gathering as a family and lighting off fireworks, like we used to go up to Green Bay, out in the street, just great memories, great memories. When you become a law enforcement officer, you hate this holiday. I've recovered from it now that I'm not working night shift anymore. I'm starting to like it again, but think about it. Like, you usually get called in early to work I work night shift, so I get called in early to work the fireworks. You kind of patrol around. There's people shooting off illegal fireworks in the park. You usually have to go around and deal with that. And then the fireworks go off. When the fireworks go off, you don't get to watch the fireworks as a law enforcement officer. That means it's time to take your position for traffic direction.
Traffic control, yeah.
So traffic direction is one of the most frustrating things. It can be one of the most frustrating things ever, because when people have to go a way different than they know, they always want to stop and ask, how they're supposed to get to a certain place. Well, imagine doing that times 400 or whatever the thing is. It does get very frustrating. Sometimes people don't see you. Sometimes you almost get hit by cars. So then after you clear from traffic directing for about an hour or whatever it is, then you take hundreds and hundreds of fireworks complaints. And as you're responding to those firework complaints, bottle rockets are literally ricocheting off your squad car because there's just an overabundance of them.
Sure.
Now, if I was king of the world for a Fond du Lac or something I would maybe just do a pause on the ordinance during the time of the fireworks and maybe triage some of those calls and then say, okay, this is a respectful time now. We'll start taking calls again on it. But that's not the world we live in. So yes, you may get called, and people have to work the next day. Fond du Lac, I believe they've always been, the fireworks are on the 4th, right?
Correct.
It's always been that way, so it's always on the 4th of July. So like this time, it happens in the middle of a work week. So people gotta work Friday morning. They're not gonna appreciate, fireworks going off all night. So try to be courteous of other people out there, or else they'll call the police, and technically there's an ordinance on it, so you could get cited for violation of that ordinance. But we want everybody to be safe. I'm just trying to give you my perspective as a law enforcement officer. I've had good July 4ths, but just as it is, I've had more miserable ones due to those things. Not my favorite thing is directing traffic and responding to firework complaints. And it's probably not the officers either. Not to mention there's obviously more people celebrating. So there's intoxicated drivers and fights and things of that nature. A lot of people come home and gather with their families that sometimes they don't get along with. So there's domestic. So there's a rise in everything at that time. So that's how it is for the law enforcement perspective. We want people to have a good time. We do, just so they're doing it peacefully and not affecting other people's. And if they do that, we're good to go.
Great reminders. Great to meet you. Wish you the best on the
Nice to meet
force.
you too. Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you again sometime. Again, no show next week. Back in 2 weeks. Behind the Badge, KFIZ.